Jeff and Jeremy in the Morning podcast brought to you commercial-free by another podcast. You've subscribed to ours, now subscribe to theirs. It's the Slow County Real Estate Podcast with Hal Swayze. When you're done with this, go listen to something that will actually enrich your life. California DRE 01111911.
Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin evening tickets are back. All this week you can win them. Coming up 9:40 if you know the show.
How many years does Jay-Z have left on this contract with the NFL and Apple Music or
I think
whatever?
They extended it. Yeah, I think they extended it. We'd have to look it up.
What? Did you see that the FCC came out with numbers on complaints during the halftime show this year with Kendrick Lamar? 125 complaints.
Was it all that they were confused what the hell was going on? Because that was my complaint.
They said it was racist because Samuel Jackson was dressed up as Uncle Sam. There was people that were upset at the cuss words. And people were saying that it needed to be more family friendly.
I was told it's because if you're white, you didn't get it. So it wasn't for white people. That's what I was told. Nothing like more division in the country.
Right. Or white, I should say.
Yeah. Well, then explain it to it. I mean, I guess he's just trying to prove a point. He's trying to divide the country. I don't know. Is he trying to bring the country together with something like that? I don't know. I kind of saw it, and I was like, yeah, I can't even understand what the guy was saying. That was my problem. I couldn't understand. Like, he's a rapper, and I couldn't understand a word that was coming out of his mouth.
I didn't find it entertaining at all. In fact, I got up and did something else. I didn't want to watch. I was like, I don't know any of these songs. I'll get up and walk away. Do you think there'll ever be a time where they just ditch music altogether? Like, why does it have to be music? Like, people are talking about, like, family friendly and stuff like that. Why can't we bring a comedian in for a little halftime? Like a good comedian, you know? Like, and it doesn't have to, I mean, it
like
needs to be family friendly. Yeah, Neighbor Gotzi. That's exactly where I'm going.
I mean, that's who I think of when I think of a family comedian.
The guy is hilarious.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I don't know. I think you need a show. I think you need a music show. Well, I was going to say a rock show, but we haven't had a rock show forever. Or just something that's familiar. I mean, I really think when you brought in Kendrick Lamar, I mean, there's a huge portion of the population who don't even know who he is. They might have heard of his name. Right. Because it gets tossed around in entertainment headlines or whatever, but
the thing is, when they were doing Aerosmith, when they were doing
even Eminem, when they were doing everybody knows who Eminem is.
When they were doing Paul McCartney, it was Bruce Springsteen. Everybody knows those songs, and then you're like, okay, here's a rapper that's been around for 5 years. I don't know if he's been around longer, but and you're going to not recognize any of his songs. We're going to put him on the halftime show. It's like,
some people did.
I don't look forward to that. You know, I mean, I'm just like, is something everybody can talk about though? I mean, that's like, you know, I mean, there are bands that I like that I think everybody should like, but I understand that not everybody likes those bands, so I don't try to force them on people.
Like the Japan Droids, you do try to force them on people.
Japan Droids, Modest Mouse, those a couple bands that stand out. Like Modest Mouse catalog is incredible. It is. They probably have, out of all the bands that, like, if you count up the number of songs that you like, I mean, Modest Mouse has to have like 30 songs that I like.
Here's what Google's AI says. It says the question is, do people like Kendrick Lamar's halftime show? It said Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime show, which featured a performance with 22-time Grammy-winning artist, was a resounding success, breaking viewership records and garnering widespread praise throughout. Some complaints focused on the lack of white performers. What? I never heard anybody say that.
Well, some is 125, apparently, because that's how many people actually took the time to file a official complaint.
My complaint was I couldn't understand what he was saying. I didn't know any of the music. I just didn't get it. But I was told because I am a white person, that is why. And I go, well, okay, whatever. I'm not going to harp on it. As a matter of fact, I don't even think we talked about it that much until right now.
if people are clamoring for family friendly, you're never going to get that in the world of music. Because sex sells in music, right? I mean, that's why Janet Jackson's top came off. That's why Britney Spears was sprinkled in with Aerosmith. I'm going way back in the way back machine on these ones. But I mean, this is why, they push the envelope. And I guess there's some entertainment value to this notion of like, oh, you got to tune in to see if they're going to push the envelope. But then it keeps getting pushed, and then boom, it goes too far.
So
I know I'm a family man, and I come across as a family man when I say this, but why not have something that's just entertaining to everyone?
Well, I mean, I don't care. Whatever, whoever decides to do it. But here are the facts. Okay, Jay-Z's contract with Rock Nation, that's his company, has been extended. There is no details on how long, till forever, I guess, until they want to change it. So, yeah, he started in 2019. It is now 2025. That means he's done, I'm guessing, at least 5, if not 6. I thought he had a 5-year contract, but it has been extended, and the details on the length of the extension are unknown, at least online to look up. So
he's a businessman. He's got to know that if there was a little bit of pushback this year, maybe he needs to go more mainstream.
Nah, I don't know.
Or has he just got this God complex?
We've gone through the last 4 years of an administration that you would think, God, there was a lot of things you thought maybe they would do a little bit different, but they didn't.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning. Don't miss a moment. Subscribe to the podcast on Google, Apple, YouTube by clicking on Jeff and Jeremy at KZOC.com.
Jeff and Jeremy in the Morning podcast brought to you commercial free by another podcast. You've subscribed to ours, now subscribe to theirs. It's the Slow County Real Estate Podcast with Hal Swayze. When you're done with this, go listen to something that will actually enrich your life. California DRE 011111911.